We are live! Yay! Welcome along to the live stream, everybody. For those that don't know who I am, let me introduce myself. Hello, I'm Gavin Hoey. I'm one of the presenters right here on Adorama TV, and this is a live stream all about portrait photography. And today we are doing grids. What are they good for? You can finish that sentence yourself, but hopefully by the end of it, you won't necessarily go with the obvious, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. We've got the amazing Sophie coming in a minute to help us. But before we get to that, behind the screen, you can see them and you can hear them. Got Freya on the Super Switcher, Sam on the chat.
Hello. Hi everyone. How's everyone doing? We've got quite a few people here.
That's good.
Would you like to know where some of them are from?
Give me a few.
I will. I'm going to say hi to Steve, first of all, because he's checking in from his hospital bed.
Oh, I see.
So I hope you're okay. So another Sweden, Norfolk, we've got Gloucester, we've got Northumberland, we've got Southern California. Hello from Florida. We've got someone from surprisingly pleasant East London, and then Colorado Mountains as well. So Guatemala. South Carolina. They're everywhere. Hi, Biggie. They're coming through so fast, I keep clicking on the wrong people. And Maryland, and we know what's there, don't we? What's in Maryland?
Oh, the cookies.
Cookies.
Always the cookies.
There we go.
Oh, fantastic. Well, wherever you're joining me from, thank you very much for spending some time. If you're watching the recording, hello, recorded people. Welcome to the past. Oh, blimey, look at us living in the past with you in the future. I'm sure it's really exciting. But if you're watching me in the here and now, it is live. Anything can and will go wrong in the next hour, I promise you. So if you've got a question you'd like answered, if it's around about what we're doing, Sam will fire the best ones over to me. So get them in the chat and try and make this as interactive as possible. Okay, let's get cracking because we've got a lot to get through on this live stream. Grids is what we're looking at today, how I use them, why I find them useful, and I've got a whole bunch of different grids. But for those that have no idea what a grid is, it's this, okay? So this is what we're talking about, a grid, also known as an egg crate. It is a device that helps to shape and limit the spread of light. The easiest way is to grab a big one.
Can we find out if everyone's got a grid?
Yeah.
So let us know if you've got a grid and what type you've got, whether you've got... Are you going to show?
Yeah, I am. There we go. So we've got two different grids here, different sizes. This is really hard to do. But they come in different sizes and different types. Softboxes tend to have this sort of flexible grid, whereas more hard light modifiers like reflectors tend to have more hard grids. It doesn't matter what they look like, they do the same thing. So this is a giant one. This is the biggest one I've got. I think that's probably nearly the smallest, but I've got some little speed light ones. And they just limit the lights, because if light comes in from the side, that's not going to focus on anything anymore, is it? Let's see if that helps. How's that? What about that?
It's an interesting effect.
Oh, there we go. Here we go. As light comes in from the side, or if I turn this, you can see through it, and then you can't see through it. And that's exactly how the light works. If it's coming in from an angle, it gets blocked, where if it's going straight through, it passes straight through. So grids are a device that don't focus the light, they stop it from spreading. That's the fundamental thing about grids. They are blockers of light, which has impacts, as we'll see as we go along.
We've had some answers to the have we got grids. So what you asked earlier, what is it good for? Absolutely something. I have grids for all my softboxes, got several. Yes, all three grids for every modifier here.
Excellent.
I have several grids. I had thought that grid stands for grid on screen camera. Does the thickness and length of the grid make a further difference?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So yes, it does. We're not going to dive deep into that. We are going to look at how grids can make a difference, but you'll notice that the size of the holes for this grid are obviously considerably bigger than the holes for the first one I was holding up, but then it's also considerably thicker as well. You might need to take my word for that. So yes, it does, and grids come in different degrees. Usually softbox grids don't have it written on, but if you get an expensive one, maybe it does. These are all flashpoint grids, and they are one size fits all. But we'll talk about grid angles a little bit later on.
And there's a little bit of love there for Peter the heater with the magnetic gel face.
just poking out between the tripod legs. Yes, Peter keeping me company, but he's not the only person keeping me company. We've got the amazing Sophie. Give it up for Sophie. Woohoo! So Sophie's going to be the model for today. We're going to have a few sort of darker images, so Sophie's styled accordingly, which is lucky because this is sort of default, isn't it? It's looking awesome. So what I wanted to start with is, what does a grid actually do? And the easiest way is just take an example picture and show you what a grid does in the real world. So Sophie, can you go back against the wall for me? So I have got a strip box here, and in your mind, draw the shape of the light that's going to come out from this strip box. You pop it in the chat if you want to as well. For those that want to know, there are gear links down below. So if you want to check out the gear links, they'll take you back to Adorama. This is the Easy Lock 12 by 56 inch strip box, which is what that's going to be about. It's quite big. If you want to know in centimeters, I can't do the maths. It's quite big.
There's a question.
Yeah, far away.
So Joe asked, can you get different grids for the softbox with smaller holes?
So by and large, the type of grids that I work with and the type of softboxes at the more economy end of the scale, no. But that doesn't mean to say if you're buying a more expensive softbox manufacturer that they don't do grids. But on the whole, you get a grid. But we're also going to talk about that as well, because there are nuances around that. Stick around for some sort of grid hacks later on. Okay, so let's take a picture. I have no idea what the correct exposure is. I do know I need to switch my light on. Okay, we need to do a picture first of all. This is kind of an important picture. We should do this, otherwise we won't see the results. What's my important picture going to be? If you're a newbie to the stream, hello new people. If you're an old regular, then you know exactly the picture I'm about to take. Super important, because without this, we don't know we've got control of the room light. So I've dialed in 250th of a second, f5.6, ISO 200, native ISO for my camera. And the picture I'm currently getting is this. It's not quite no flash, no picture. Depending on how bright your screen is set, there is a little bit of something in there, but effectively, no flash, no Sophie. Okay, so there we are, look at that, I knew someone would do it. Okay, so no flash, no Sophie, which means this is the picture I would get if the flash never fired, because the flash never fired. So bear that in mind for the next picture. So let's put this on, let's turn that on. I don't know, it's not going to be half power where it was when I turned it on. I'm going to put it on 1/16th power, pure guess. Here we go. And what I'm interested in isn't the pose or the lighting on Sophie or any of that stuff. All I'm interested in is that didn't move forward one photo at all, did it? There we go, let's try that again. There we go. All I'm interested in is the spread of the light. So this is a strip box, a 12 by 56 inch strip box. We've got the 12-inch side facing Sophie. You might imagine from the description of this strip box that the light that comes out would be a strip of light. That is not what happens. That light comes out at very nearly 180 degrees. You can see it going up and down here like that. That is the spread of the light. And it's doing that not because of the shape of the softbox, but because of this, the surface of the softbox. The light that leaves the last surface is the shape you get. Doesn't matter what's behind it, it's that last surface that gears and shapes the spread of light. So if you bought a strip box hoping you'd get a beam of light, you're not going to. That's not how it works, unless you've got a grid. So let's do the same thing with the grid. Now, I've got to stick this grid on. I'd love to say I treat my grids with care and love, and no, I just screw them up and stick them in the bag. So this grid isn't the prettiest. It may have a few holes that are in the wrong place, and it's definitely got some fluffy bits.
I think you'd call it a character grid.
A character, yeah. I think that's a good description. A grid with character. I'm going to try and put it on reasonably neatly. Yeah, that'll do.
Dean said, I once got a large softbox from the photography show, and because it didn't have a grid, I got it half price. Sounds like a bargain.
That's because you got half a softbox. The grid, in my opinion, is absolutely essential, especially if you're working in a small home studio. We'll show you why later on. Okay, here we go. Same picture, same everything. The only thing I've changed is the grid. And a couple of things immediately change. The first thing is, well, let's talk about the exposure. The exposure is the same on those two photos, but clearly there's less light coming out from the softbox because the grid is a blocking device. It blocks light, it doesn't let all of it through. The end result is you always lose a bit of light. I reckon we've lost a stop, maybe a bit more, to be honest. So let's take it from 1/16th power to 1/8th power. Here we go, test photo. Okay, and that's getting a bit closer to being correct. So once we've got the exposure roughly right and compensated for, we can see that the grid gives us a more directable light. That's probably not the right word, but a light with a bit more of a beam. It's not perfectly neat around the edge, because I haven't put the grid on, but...
Directional?
Directional. Let's go with that. Why would I looking for such a complicated word? Directional. That's the word. Just to give you an idea, if I go back, that's what it looked like without the grid. You can see that the directional element is missing. It's spreading at 180 degrees. The grid brings it down to something that looks like more like about 60-ish degrees. Maybe 70 degrees. Somewhere in that kind of region. So it is a light that has more contrast because we get more shadows where the light doesn't hit. That's what a grid does. Okay, we all okay with that so far? They're all nodding behind the camera. I love this. This is my entire audience, those two. Okay, let's see if we can use this principle to make something a bit more interesting as a photo. So, Sophie, you come to the front edge of the softbox. Marvellous. I can probably back myself up. How far back can I go, Freya? There we are. Look, that's perfect. Okay, so, I'm even too far back. Okay, let's see how this goes. So we'll do it wrong first of all. Look at me for a second. So I've changed absolutely nothing. And what we get is the same result on the background, but obviously a split light on Sophie because she's looking straight at the camera and the light is coming literally 90 degrees. Sophie, just turn and look into the light, which she wanted to do immediately because models know what they're doing. And that just looks way better. So we can use this effect to get something more interesting. We can use that sort of grid effect on the background, and we can use the fact that this is a 56-inch strip box to get some fun, dramatic lighting. Let's get rid of the tripod.
I've got a question.
Yeah, I'm going to take some photos. You ask a question.
It's not really on this subject.
Okay.
But Gavin, looking forward to seeing you on Coffee with Creators with Seth Miranda.
Oh, yes.
Will you also do a live demo at the Adorama space, and will Sophie or Chloe come with?
So yes and no. So I will be doing we'll keep going, Soph. I'm going to be doing a live demonstration, but it's going to be live streamed on the Adorama events page. So if you can't make it in person, you can watch it, but hopefully come along. It would be great to see so many of you as I can actually in person in New York next month. So that would be amazing. And yes, I'm going to be chatting to Seth in person. That's going to be fun. Okay, so that is a really simple technique. I know what you're all screaming. It would look so much better in black and white. And you know what? Let's do that. Let's do it in black and white. Here we go. Beautiful. Super important picture. Always remember to take one of these behind the scenes, learn how your lights work, share it on social media. Those sorts of pictures are absolutely essential for remembering what you are doing. So that worked quite nicely, but I wonder if we can just mix it up a little bit. And I'm going to take the size and the fact that the grid stops light from spreading in places I don't want it to and try and get a bit more colour out of this. So what I want to do is actually add a gel to just part of the grid. So I've got some gels. You guys can choose the colour. Hang on, I know you love choosing colours. So I have got, not that one, that's horrible.
The black and white went down well.
Oh, good. Now we're going to do it in colour.
Yeah, now
you remember to change the mode. Okay, there we go. So what do you fancy? A red, blue, or the one in the middle, purple? Anybody got any preferences? I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess which one I think they're going to ask for. It's obviously that one is the right answer. Okay. Feel free to
I'll wait till
disagree.
we've got a few in, and then I'll let you know.
Okay. Yeah. That's fine.
here we go.
I'll show you what it does, and then you can tell me I've got the wrong colour. Let me put
We've
this
got
back into colour.
purple. We have got red,
Yes.
blue, amazing blue-red mix.
Amazing blue-red mix, Biggie. Come on, like
Polka,
I'm going to do
polka
that.
dot.
A polka dot is always one.
Red,
One day I'll work out how to do that.
Why do you ask? You know it will be purple. Purple.
Yes, Robin, I do. Okay, right. Here's what it does. Let's just take
Lots of purple.
a picture and see what we get. Okay, so here's what I'm getting. So the back of the softbox, I'm getting the red hitting the wall because it's right up against the wall. The front of the softbox, where Sophie is, there's no red hitting her. There's no red bits because from Sophie's point of view, she can't see any of the surface of the softbox. The grid is blocking the light from hitting the back of Sophie. So I'm just getting the red coming through that small area. Right, Biggie. What did he ask for? He asked for...
Michael said, not sure. Not sure if you've noticed, but that gel doesn't fit the whole strip box. Oh, good job you said, Michael.
Thanks, Michael.
He's so silly, isn't he?
Didn't notice that. Right, okay. So here's what we're going to do, just for Biggie. We're going to put the red up that end. And just for Michael. It's not going to fit the whole softbox, Michael, but as much as I can. I'm actually going to put blue at this end. Like that. And then I'm going to put purple in the middle. Keep everybody happy that way, don't I? And then red at the end. Something like that. Okay, so now we've got blue, purple, red.
I've got a question, actually, about the softbox. So Ben asked, does a grid affect the hardness or softness of the light?
It's a good question. It's complicated. The answer is yes. That doesn't help. It does a little bit because it does effectively make the softbox smaller by blocking areas of light from your model. But having said that, you already have the general size. So yes, maybe a little bit, but I think the gains outweigh any negatives. It's a matter of taste. But it definitely increases contrast because it makes more shadows by blocking light from hitting, well, the entire room. Okay, here we go. Boom. Blue, purple, and red, although it washes out a little bit by the time it gets to the back. Okay, let's do a few photos like that. Let's see what we can do here. Fantastic. Straight out of camera, no post-processing. Obviously, we could really play around with the colours in RAW should we wish to. And as always, how's it look when you take a wide picture? It looks like that. Always good to know what you're doing. I probably should do a vertical because, you know, social media and all that. Okay, so that's fun. So that's using the learning technique of putting a grid on and firing it against a white wall and discovering the spreads, but then just using the same principle to try and make something a bit more interesting, which is sort of fun. Okay.
It is going down well. I know you're not reading the comments. But
I know, I can't see the comments. I always assume that everyone's going, nah, you know, whatever. Sophie, do you want to go back against the wall for me and we'll just move this? So that's strip box. Definitely if in the market for a strip box.
There's a question actually about that
always
setup.
ensure you get a grid. Yes.
So I didn't check. Does putting the gel on top of the egg crate spread the light more than just the egg crate?
It probably does ever so slightly. Yeah, you're probably right because of course there is always a little bit of flare in the last surface it leaves, etc., etc. If you want to do this and you've got more time, tuck it underneath. I don't think you'd notice any difference, but you know. I guess if your gels were opaque, maybe you would a little bit. Right, what am I doing? Oh yeah, hard light. Okay, so we've done soft light. Let's do hard light reflectors. Little 7-inch reflector, absolutely essential. Everybody should get one of these. This one's mine, as you can tell. It's got a little sticker on it, just so I know which one it is. And if you're in the market for one of these, you should be buying not one, but some of these. So these are grids for reflectors. And you'll notice straight away, not all of these are the same. They have different kind of hole sizes. So we'll talk about these and have a little look and see how they affect the photo. That was loud. Let's see how it looks without one first of all. If I can actually get that on. Hang on. Okay, we're in. Okay, so how am I going to do this so I don't get this in the way? That's pretty much it, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to get a light, point it straight at Sophie, put it that far away. That is exactly the right position. I don't want it any further or any closer. That's spot on. We'll put a sandbag on there because if you don't, the C-stand police will be paying you a visit, and you don't want that. And we'll just take a picture. We should do this properly. I could do trial and error. I'm actually going to get a light meter and measure this out. Sophie, I'm going to pop this near your chin. F8.9. Whoa! Bearing in mind I didn't change a thing other than the light modifier. We went from F5.6 to F11, 2 stops more light. So I don't know why I pressed it again. I've got to take it down. Okay, F5.6, close enough. That'll do for me. I'll take that. Right, okay, here we go. Quick little test photo. This is going to be the bad picture. Yeah, it's really hard to take a bad picture of Sophie, isn't it? It really is. I try. I really do. Yeah, that is the 7-inch reflector straight on to Sophie on camera. It's kind of, yeah, you've got to go wide to see the actual effect. So if I go wide, there's a little bit, I've got to go really wide, haven't I? Crikey, let's go really wide. Okay. There you go. Eventually I can find the edges of the spread of light. So there's a misnomer that big light sources like softboxes are for full-length portraits. That's not how it works. You can see that that light is lighting Sophie from head to toe and all the way up to the ceiling as well. It's not the size of the light, but the spread of the light. And you get that from distance as much as anything. So spread is where we're at. And that leads us on to these guys. Anyone got any of these? Can I do that, or is that going to be like a brand thing I can't do anymore? Like, oh no, yeah, I can't work out a different way of doing them. Anyway, they usually come as packs of 3, and they are grids with degrees written on them. They'll be all different. You can never really find some that match. This says a 10-degree grid. This says a 50 degree, and then this one says 30 degrees. So they might be 60, 40, 20, you're going to get a whole range of things. Doesn't really matter. You just want to have 3 different diameters of grid. And the way they get different isn't by thickness, they're all the same thickness, but by size of hole. So that is the size hole of the 50-degree grid. You can see that that is a smaller hole for the 30-degree grid, and my 10-degree grid is barely lets any light through at all. Okay, it's super
Got
small.
a question about the setup that you've got there already.
Mm-hmm.
If you feather it to one side, will that make it better?
I mean, better is a interesting term. Let's find
Perhaps
out.
different.
Yes, different is definitely different. I'll feather it to one side and you can judge whether it's better or not. So that's feathered away to the edge. I know what you're saying. I'm with you, I understand. Because when I feather it, I get, I'm going to call it better, I get light and shade. That's what you mean, isn't it? So rather than using the center in the center and just letting it equally wash out, we've pushed it so we're on the edge of the highlight to shadow cusp. There's probably a technical name for that. I used to know what it is. Is it umbra? Penumbra. Penumbra. She's in the penumbra. Degree in optics, me. Know my stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, I would go with that. Okay, let's get a 30-degree grid. How does this work? Let me take that off so I can show you. Right. So these things have little tabs, little springy tabs. It's always going to focus on Sophie, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. There we go. Little springy tabs and little pulley tabs. Okay, it's super important that when you put it in, the pulley tab is sticking out like that. Because when you want to remove this, that little pulley tab, where is it? There it is. That little tab will allow you to pull it out. Because if you put it in back to front, like that, that looks much cleaner, much more. Look at me, I'm so much more professional. Hang on, how do I get it out? You have to take it off, push it out that way round, and it's normally quite hot if you've had the modelling lamp on. So make sure that your little pulley tab is sticking up. Whoa. And when they eventually break off and they do, a little bit of duct tape, just double taped on, will be a good replacement, which is how most of mine live. Okay, so at this point, a modelling lamp is super useful. Yeah, I know. Extreme close-up, that's what we want. Modelling lamp can be super useful, but on this video feed, you're not really going to see that. Can you see that? Not really. I can see it just a little bit, but that helps me to guide this grid.
Can you do it again, please? I put the top one on instead. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
The other way of doing it is to say, Sophie, can you see through the grid?
Yes.
You can actually see the light behind. If Sophie can see through the grid, the light will reach her eyes. That's kind of how we roll. Right, let's go wide. Let's see what we get. Oh, having said that, I did actually not put it in the right place. That's better. Okay, so I haven't changed the exposure. It's the same setting as it was before. It's darker because the grid blocks light, usually by about a stop. So let me take that up a stop. But also, what else can you see here that may be unexpected? There's definitely a reduction in the spread of the light. I mean, quite a lot. If I go to that wide picture, we can see how much it's reduced the spread of the light. But what we also get is a projection of the grid. Now, we're on a white wall, so it's really, really obvious. If it was a dark wall or a mottled background, yeah, you'd never really notice. But that, in theory, is also projected onto Sophie's face. And that's mostly down to the fact that these grids are very cheap. I've left some links to some better ones in the video description from Adorama, not these. So bear that in mind. But also,
someone's actually said that the set linked in the description has 4 grids, 10, 20, 30, 40 degrees.
There you go.
And Biggie also said, we see you, Freya, and appreciate all the behind the scenes.
Thanks, Biggie.
Okay, let's do the same thing again, this time with the 30-degree grid. And again, I need to be a bit more accurate, but notice here that effect that we had before, that little kind of mottled effect, disappeared. Also, it doesn't need any more light, and I don't know why. Again, that is a bit of a nuance of this particular grid. You've got to know your gear, understand how it works. But that's good, that's all right. What about the 10-degree grid? Oh my goodness me, here we go, let's try the 10-degree grid. I can barely see, it's almost like it's solid. This is the one I probably use the least. And in my studio, the 50 and the 30 are the ones that actually get any use. Okay. That's the 10-degree grid. We lost light again, which isn't surprising. But it is, look, it's tiny, isn't it? Like, okay, can I even get a picture out of this if I kind of come to the side? I mean, barely. Yeah. That's mad. Obviously, we could make the spot bigger by moving the light further away. In case anybody's screaming. Oh, that's a picture of the floor. That's what the floor looks like. Okay, let's just try and take some slightly better pictures. Let's go with the 30-degree. In it goes. Make sure the tab is sticking out. Okay. So, 30-degree grid. Let's take a light meter reading, so we've got a bit of an idea. So if I'm going to pop this, I'm actually going to put it near your nose because such is the spread of light. I want to make sure I capture the highlights, not the shadows. F5.6 and 3/10. That's the floor again.
I don't want to miss a picture. I've got to show more.
We do love a behind the scenes, but that's perhaps not what I had in mind. Okay, and I'm going to adjust my light. Let's see where we go. There we go. Now, it's not hugely round, except that is a nuance of this grid. But if I come to the side, now that doesn't really matter. So if you're going to look up at the camera, that top camera, you might just need to take a baby step this way. That's it.
What size is that grid?
That is the 30-degree grid. At least that's what it's got printed on it.
Alex has said 30 degrees is the sweet spot, in my opinion.
I mean, everybody's going to have their own opinion, Alex, and if that is exactly what works for you, you smashed it. That's exactly the right one.
And then Robin said, would an optical spot be a better way of taking this kind of shot?
Okay, Robin, that is a great question. An optical spot, totally different piece of equipment that can give a similar look, but usually a much crisper circle that you can actually focus up. They are also considerably more expensive, considerably heavier, and considerably more of a niche product. Now, we've done videos about those plenty of times on Adorama. Go check them out. There's one where we had a red, green, and blue gel in front of them. That was a fun one to do. Yes, it will give a similar result. Yes, it would be more controlled and refined. No, we're not covering it today. Right, Sophie, go into the corner for me. So what I like about circles of light is if you have a corner, you don't have a circle. I might need to swap to the other grid. We'll see. We will see. Let's see if we can move this out a little bit without disturbing it on the balance. Whoa. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to angle it down a little bit because I know I'm going to put this fairly high. Sophie, can you see through that grid?
Yeah.
Nailed it. Yep. Okay, how's this light going to represent itself? In your mind, draw the shape it's going to hit the corner. Here we go. And let's see if you drew anything that looks like that. So it's no longer a circle. It starts to become almost a heart shape. I just want to drop it down a little bit. There we go. Okay.
Got a question.
Far away.
Does the diameter of the reflector have an effect?
Not really, not in this case. I mean, I've got some 9-inch reflectors, but I don't think they make a massive difference, to be honest. In fact, I often pick up the 9-inch thinking it's the 7-inch reflector and then think, oh, the grids don't fit, they fall through. So in this case, no. What tends to make a difference is actually the shape of it rather than the diameter. So is it a long throw? In other words, is it a long telescopic shape, or is it a short flat reflector, in which case it's more of a wide beam effect? So and then the internals as well, some of them are sort of like planished, hammered. I still want to bring this down a little bit. So some of them are smooth, some of them have a little kind of dappled interior. They're all different. They all have their nuances. Maybe that's something we should do at some point. We'll just get a whole bunch of reflectors and just show how they completely change the light. Somewhere in the middle would have been good, but that's cool. Okay, I'm going to pop it into a little bit of a white balance shift. Last couple of pictures on this, and then we'll move on. If you're watching us live, hello live people. If you're watching the recording, if you've got a question on the recording, pop it in the comments, live in the chat. Last picture.
Got a question.
Always behind the scenes.
From Biggie, would you rather buy multiple reflectors of the same size or have multiple sizes?
I've got multiple reflectors of the same size. So that would be, with the hard reflectors like this, I would get matching ones for my lights. That was how I would go. So if I had 2 lights, I would get 2 pairs of matching reflectors. Then you know how it works. Everything's interchangeable. The other thing to notice as well is the grids don't fit all reflectors. You can buy grids that are 7-inch, but when you get a 7-inch reflector, it doesn't necessarily fit in. So my top tip is always, if you're buying grids separately, read the comments, and if people say it fitted XYZ reflector, buy that. Or even better, when you look at Adorama and you look at their grids, they'll also say people also bought this, and buy that reflector. But yeah, I would get matching pairs every time. Right, let's do something completely different. And we'll do a different use of grids, because we've got half an hour, less than half an hour to go. Wow, time's whizzing by. We'll get rid of that. And I'll take that off for a second. And we'll set some bits and pieces up. So, I'm going to give you a chair. And I'll give you a table. Of course, I've put all my stuff on the table. Nothing to see here, literally. Sophie, can you just entertain them for a bit? Oh. Oh. So exciting. Living dangerously. Right. Have a seat on the chair, not the table. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to get a simple head and shoulders portrait resting on a table, and we're going to use grids to get a bit of control over the effect. Right. Let's clean up the table with a nice clean white bit of foam core. Lovely, look at that. Doesn't that look fantastic? Then we need a light. Let's get rid of the grid. There you go, Sophie, you can have that. It's all yours. Okay. Always put your light on the softbox. Don't try and put the softbox on the light, especially when they're that big. Okay, I'll pop that there. Don't need the sandbag, so we'll get rid of that. I'm going to try and put this as close to the wall as I can. Okay, something like that. That's not bad, is it? Marvellous. Lock it all down. Okay, so we've got a basic light set up here. We've got Sophie in front, no, behind rather, a large softbox. Most of it's in front of her. Yeah, that's the right way around, isn't it? Let's take a light meter reading, see what we get. Sophie, I'm going to pop this near your chin. We're aiming for f5.6. Oh my goodness, I've got to show you. Okay, that just never happens, does it? Yep, there it is. So that's what my flash meter does. It has the shutter speed, 250th, the ISO 200 set by me, and it tells me at this power of flash, you need to dial in f5.6, which I have.
So, question.
Yeah.
Wow, that's big. How wide is that strip box?
Just for you. I'm just doing this for you, Biggie. Nobody else. Here we go. 56 inches. Should have had a sign. I really should have thought of that through, shouldn't I? Oh, damn, next time. Okay, so let's take a picture. This is what it looks like
And just one more question about the size. Is that strip box larger than Gavin?
Oh, no, I'm not answering that. No, look, clearly I'm considerably taller than it. It's only 12 inches. Yeah, people. Or come to New York and you can find out. That would be fun. Okay, now the annoying thing is, this is the bad pitch, and I really, really like it. This is the bad picture of Sophie to show how it looks out the grid. Occasionally a grid isn't necessary, but we're going to pretend this is a terrible picture. It's really, really nice, isn't it? Maybe it'll be worse if I do it in black and white. What do you think? Okay, let's make it worse. We'll do it in black and white. Oh no, that's even nicer. Oh, damn it. Doesn't matter. Okay. It's actually really nice as a one light picture, this, but it doesn't always work that way, and a grid might be a solution. Either way, it's a good learning experiment to see what it actually does to change this picture. So let's add the grid into the scene. And it comes, grid, grid, grid. Now I'm wishing I had a smaller one because this is taking ages. Let's stick this on with Velcro. Maybe I should have got two, one without and one with. I bet when I go to New York, they'll have loads of them all lined up, just waiting for me to use. Yeah. None of this do it yourself. I'll find out that Seth has like a dozen assistants. Right, okay, so what's going to happen? In your mind, tell me what's going to, well, actually in your keyboard. On your keyboard, tell me what's going to happen to the background.
Do you have the power to communicate with telepathy? Is that what you nearly revealed?
Yeah, I do.
Your mind. Oh, no, I can't do it in my mind. Trust me, I haven't learned that, really.
Okay, how do we go? Okay, so first things first, I probably need a bit more light. What do you think? I probably should have actually checked the light output because that's super dark. So if I'm going to pop this near your chin. Oh, hello. Pressed a button. Pop this near your chin. Okay, f4.3, f5.6, there we go. Also want to angle it down just a tiny little bit. Oh, possibly a little bit too much. Okay, here we go. That's better. Okay, so the background goes dark. I've got that now in the wrong position.
Actually, lots of people have guessed that. I've forgotten where we were, to be honest.
Where are we? You sound like, that sounds like there's some plan where we are. There's no plan.
Darker background, go darker. Yeah.
Okay, so the background goes darker, but also have a look at what else has gone darker. If we look at the exposure, Sophie, do you want to just look at the top edge of this softbox here? Okay, here we go. So the light on Sophie is where I metered the light, and the exposure up there, beautiful. Skin looks amazing, straight out of camera, everything about it says great photo. By the time we get down to Sophie's hands, that's underexposed. Now remember earlier we were talking about the evenness of lights not being related necessarily to the size, and they're underexposed not because of the size, but because the grid is blocking light. It's reducing the light level that's reaching Sophie's hands. And if you want to be sure, you could put your head down there and look up and see if you can see through the grid. I wouldn't recommend it. It looks a bit weird. People think you're a bit odd. I'd never do that, would I? No, never do that. So, if I want to light Sophie's hands, I would have to angle this down. So now, this is going to light Sophie's hands absolutely beautifully. But because of the directional nature of the flash with the grid on, I lose Sophie's face. Now, of course, I could spin this. This is a strip box. I could spin it around, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to accept that her hands are going to be darker. Why? Because that's what I actually wanted. When we're doing a portrait, the brightest part, if you believe in the Camera Club rules, should be their face. Again, that is a debate you can have amongst yourselves. But I kind of think in this case that's about right. And adding a grid just gives me that level of control over where the light is going. Okay, obviously we've got a bit of a shadow side on Sophie, so let's add in light number 2. No expense spared. We've gone from one flash, doubling up to a second flash. This is a Flashpoint Explore 200 Pro Mark II. The one in the big strip box is the Evolve 200 Pro Mark II. So little flashes. Okay, let's add in the second light. If you're going to add more than one light, what do you do? Very importantly, always do this. Oh, don't take the same picture twice. That's not the idea. Always take a picture with just the one light that you're about to add in, so you can learn where that light is going. You can see it's hitting Sophie where I want it to, on the side of her head, maybe not in quite the right place, but it's also spilling onto the background. What will stop it spilling onto the background? Grid. Okay. Now, I need to make sure that's actually going to reach Sophie.
I've got a question.
Yeah, far away.
So Mark asked, are the squares on an American grid different size to European due to the metric versus imperial measurements?
Okay, Mark, I will take a grid with me and I will check when I go to New York and report back to you. I won't, but hey, you know. I have no idea. I love that question, though. Okay, so now that light is still hitting Sophie, still giving us a hair light, giving us a little bit of light across the front, which is nice, but not hitting the background. Without the grid, with the grid. Let's turn the key light on. Here we go. So now we have the two lights working together. We've got the edge light and we've got the key light. Sophie's hands are still in shadow. Oh, well, they won't be now. Thanks, that's a good solution, Sophie. I didn't think of that.
That's good, like hide one and have one.
Yeah, that works. Damn it, stop making things better. Okay, that's really good. Obviously, we've got to do a behind the scenes, super useful. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. I kind of like the first picture without all the grids on and everything, where that background had a little bit of light, because the background is now a bit meh, it's not great. So how, okay, thank you, or someone likes it. How can I make this work? I've only got 2 lights. I need to light the edge of Sophie with a backlight. I need to light the front of Sophie with this strip box and grid, and I need to light the background as well. How am I going to do that? Okay, Sophie, can you slide backwards for me? Okay, that'll do, yep, that's pretty good, actually a little towards me. I didn't need to, I just need to seem like I'm in control. There we go. Yeah, that's perfect, actually. There we go, I'm going to put the table there. Okay, now, obviously now, if I...
You asked people, so...
Yep. Half on, half off? I wouldn't recommend that.
Good. You have done that before.
Trying to seem aloof.
I'm just saying.
Oh, she spoils all the fun. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Remove part of the grid. Oh, honestly, not going to do that. That'd be a crazy. What crazy person would remove part of the grid? Is there a reason why
you set up the strip light vertically instead of horizontal?
Yeah, that's a good question. Absolutely. If I set it up, and I'll show you why. Here we go. So obviously at the moment, not much is going to be reaching Sophie at all. Let me just see if we can take a photo and see if anything reaches Sophie. Here we go. Okay, we're getting a little bit of light. If I spin this vertically, okay, and I do nothing more. Okay, now we're getting really no light. It's just that backlight, that the edge you can see there is the backlight. Okay, so that was horizontally, that's vertically. Can you see the difference on the front of Sophie's face? And the reason that's happened is because when it's horizontal, the edge of the light is closer to Sophie. When it's vertical, whoa, that gap is increased. Inverse square law, grid also blocks the light, blah, blah, blah. So basically, this is just allowing more of the light to reach the edge and front of Sophie's face. I tend to use strip boxes way more in this format. Obviously, we need to bring this back here somewhere. Okay, something like that. Right. Okay, really nice. So by moving closer to the background, we throw a little bit of light onto that background. Beautiful, isn't it? So, so simple. Really good, love that, Sophie, amazing. And of course, Sophie being an amazing model, I can just sit here or stand here and press the shutter all day long, and they're always incredible.
Mark asked, is it in Sophie's contract that she is not allowed to roll her eyes at Gavin?
Not on camera.
It's lucky it's not in ours, Mark.
Okay, so here's a crazy thing, and I can't believe no one suggested this, but if you want to have the right-hand corner, go back to that photo, that right-hand corner where it's in shadow, this bit, over here, if you want to put a bit of light there, here's a little trick that no one's ever thought of, ever. What you can do is remove part of the grid. I can't believe no one put this in. Part of the grid. Okay, and it doesn't need to be half. Half would be too much at this point. It literally needs to be that little bit there. The grid is pretty efficient at stopping the light. One stop is half the light output. It's a lot of light. And if I do that, that's plenty just to throw a little bit of light back into that corner. That is the difference. Oh, hang on, I should go back to that one. Let's go to that one. That is the difference between, let's get rid of that. There we go. Just having a little bit of light peeling off where I've removed the grid. And if you want to see how much you've done, you should not have thrown all of the grids and gels on the floor. Oh, there they are. Let's throw a grid. No, not a grid, a gel. What colour gel? I do listen.
Yellow.
Look how carefully I've put that on. It's all in those fine details, taking the care and the time to do this. Top tip, if you're going to put a coloured gel on your light, make sure you turn off black and white mode. Okay. And you can now really see how much spread. It's not a great colour, it's not a great combination, but it's a great way of seeing just how much that little tiny bit that I peeled off of the grid is spreading. Okay? Wide picture, and we can learn how the light is going. Awesome. How are we doing for time? 10 minutes. We can do the last one in 10 minutes. Have you got any questions? Are we all right? Thumbs up. Oh, mind yourself, Sophie. Can we play that bit backwards? It is soft. Daniel is right. I should get a t-shirt with that one. Softbox bit, not Daniel being right. Okay, so I thought to finish off this live stream, we've looked at grids doing safe, sensible stuff. Let's do something, breaks a few rules, isn't really what grids were meant to do, is a bit of fun, and if it goes horribly wrong, we'll just trim the last 10 minutes off of the live stream. That's how we roll. Okay, so we're going to use the grid, not as a grid as such, but as a background. That is one not tidy grid, but you know what? I'm leaving it like that. Sophie, just step out in front of me for a second. Bring this around and put it to the wall. Something like that. And we'll try and make that roughly the same height as Sophie. Oh. Yeah, that's exactly how I want it. Clear some space. Okay, so I've got the light behind Sophie. Little step that way for me. I think this is the worst I've ever done it, but we'll ride it. We'll see what happens. Here we go. All I'm going to do is use the single Flashpoint Evolve 200 Pro Mark II in the 12 by 56 inch strip box with a grid pointing straight at the camera. No other lights. Let's see. In the comments, what do you think this is gonna look like? I can tell you, not good. Okay. Whoa. What was that on? 1/4 power. Yeah, that's quite bright. Maybe it'd be better if I turn it down. Let's try 1/16 power. Okay, no, there's no better. Okay, my plan here was to include the softbox and this, the grid, and it was kind of look. Sophie, just do a profile picture. Just look towards the camera. Let's get your side on here. Maybe a profile picture will be. Yeah, still not great, is it? I mean, should we call it there and just finish 7 minutes early? I'm all right with that. Oh no, of course not. Let's try this. This definitely will work. Okay, here we go. Yeah, okay, here we go. Yeah, that didn't make any better either. That's a blue cast by changing the white balance. Okay, we've got one last thing to try. Not giving up that easily. This makes everything look better. Smoke machine, but there's no batteries in it. Well, this is great. Let's grab some batteries. Yep, here we go. Smoke makes everything look better, yep. Okay, here we go. I'm going to add a little bit of smoke. Where's my camera? I could probably do with a camera right now. Okay, here we go, here we go. No flash. That's typical. Okay, well, I'm going to say that's actually better than I thought. These are supposed to be the bad pictures. Believe it or not, there is a plan. Stick with me, people. I know where I'm going with this. I won't let you down. Okay, yeah, now we're starting to get somewhere. We could build on this, couldn't we? We could start adding extra lights in. We could start to make this, that's not something in Sophie's hair, that's the cursor, something a little bit more interesting. However, we are down to 5 minutes. I've got 5 minutes to make this work. I don't want to start banging extra lights into this scene and moving things around. I want a quick, simple one light win that makes a creative use of a strip box and grid combo. Type that into ChatGPT and see what you get back, because it won't be this. Right, okay, let's change this up a little bit. So let's get rid of that, and we'll bring this down something like that. Okay. And I'll drop that vertically. Ow, that was my elbow. Yes, it was uncomfortable. Okay. We've got 5 minutes, I can do this. Right, and that is going to go up in the air.
You've had some suggestions.
Yes.
Turning the softbox to 45 degrees would look cool.
Yeah.
We need purple smoke. Brooklyn reflector.
Oh, well, that's probably the solution I'll get next month. Okay, how about that? That looks totally safe and not at all dodgy. Let's put a sandbag on because that will make everybody happy. That's not a joke, that's serious. Okay, so this is exactly the right height, as you can see, for me. I don't think it's going to work for Sophie. So Sophie, what I'm going to ask you to do is to come into the corner, and you're probably just going to sort of bend your knees a little bit, hunch back down and make it all model-y. Welcome to the world of telling models what to do. I'll tell you your
description.
Job. Look, they do their job, I do mine. It's kind of cool. Right, okay. Let's take that photo, see how it looks. Here we go. So first things first, how is this light going to come out? First of all, is it even going to come out? Bear with me, Sophie, because my camera just is refusing to focus. Immediately, this feels better. I haven't got the softbox grid combo in the frame yet. I'm just going to get the light right first. But immediately, putting Sophie into a corner and getting that spread of light feels good. That feels like it's going to work. There's a missing element in this. There's actually two missing elements. The first one is this absolutely 100% must be black and white. Hang on, Sophie, I'm going to change my camera settings. Give me a bit more depth of field. Okay. I mean, it has to be black and white. It just must be black and white. That's pretty good. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Here we go. I'm going to do this picture. Then my little thirds is on the opposite side, and you can see better. Okay, that's kind of cool. Obviously, behind the scenes is always a good idea. I'm just going to do a little behind the scenes. Here we go. Wait a minute. That's amazing. Oh, hang on a second. This is no longer behind the scenes. This is now part of the scene. So I'm including the softbox strip combo, including that bit, which is not going to close up for love nor money. There we go. In the scene, deliberately adding a strip box into my lighting scene is breaking the rules. That's not what you're supposed to do.
Apparently, Adorama should stock Sophie's because she's a great model. Black and white looks great.
Doesn't it? So cool. Okay, maybe it'll work well in colour. Let's just try for colour because we've got a couple of minutes to go. So I'm going to come out of black and white mode into colour. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. So this is colour. That's my colour setting. Yep. Now I'm shooting everything in RAW, so even my black and whites are colour. When I get them into Photoshop, Camera Raw, Lightroom, Capture One, whatever it is you edit in, you're always going to get colour files, even if you had black and white turned on in your camera. The same will apply to the white balance. That's 5200K. To finish the last few pictures off, I'm going to turn it down to 3200K. Fantastic. Beautiful. And because I went to all the trouble of getting the actual battery in the...
Actually, someone's just put in, Wayne's put smoke overhead in the grid might be interesting.
I must take that out from between my knees, that looks weird. And this is the fast vanishing formula, the new one from PMI Gear. So it disappears relatively quickly, leaves no residue, and is gone in a few seconds. So very, very fast, and it's gone. Last one. And we are done. Love this, Sophie, superb. Mixing it up a little bit, trying different angles. Okay, last picture. Oh no, one more to go. Here we go. Last picture, super important. This one. Here it comes. Ooh, I can get my camera to focus. No. Apparently the camera listened to me and said that was the last picture. Yeah, no, that's it. That's it.
I'm
That's
just
gonna
going
be
to
fun.
pop some comments on. So
Let's hope we get this fixed before the trade show tomorrow.
oh, I hope so. Maybe you just run out of battery.
Yeah, you'd like to think so, wouldn't you? Yep, no, it's done one of those things that when you switch it off, it won't actually switch off. But that's perfect timing for the end of the stream. Amazing, they look cool. Okay, so there we go. That brings us to the end of the live stream. Grids are absolutely fantastic. So grids, what are they good for? Absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. They are so useful. I couldn't work in a small home studio without one. So if you haven't got a grid, make sure next time you're buying a light modifier, it comes with a grid, or a grid is an option. Right, if you've enjoyed this live stream, we have more live streams coming up right here on Adorama TV on our main channel, but also check out the Adorama events channel where everything from the event space is being streamed. So there's loads of stuff happening all the time. Seth is live at least once a week on this channel and also on the events channel, so go check that out. I'd like to thank behind the camera, Freya on the Super Switcher, Sam on the comments.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for coming on. Sorry, I'm just going through all the comments still. There's been lots of comments. Thanks for all your questions, and we'll see you again. Are we live just before?
Complicated. Thursday, the something or other of July.
That's
16th?
it. 16th. Something like that.
If that's a Thursday.
Oh, we're so on it, aren't we?
Thursday the 16th of July, I think, at least somewhere around about that. Live in this space, and then a couple of days later, I will be over in New York. Live in the event space on the events channel, so join me for that. But in the meantime, give it up for the amazing Sophie. Whoa! Okay, that's us done. I'm Gavin Hoey. Thanks for watching.